Everyone knows Rome, Florence, and Venice, but Sardinia's capital, Cagliari, is a place few travelers talk about. Most visitors just pass through on a cruise. They're never here long enough for the city to take hold of their heart. We wanted something different, time to discover it. And we did, all in a land shaped by the mysterious Nuragic culture found only in Sardinia. We stayed a month, and we'll share what that felt like and what it cost. If you're curious about a side of Italy most travelers never see, this is for you. I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way.
There's almost nothing that Kevin enjoys more than drinking a cappuccino in a piazza in Italy, and we'd been looking forward to slowing down here. Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean, just off Italy's west coast, and Cagliari sits at its southern tip. The Airbnb we stayed in is in the Castello District, and it rises like a fortress above Cagliari. It's a medieval quarter fortified by the Pisans in the 13th century, and is one of 4 historic districts that survived World War II bombing. These streets are so narrow that we sometimes had to lean into doorways when vehicles passed. What made this place unforgettable wasn't just the history, it was living in the heart of it. We're here in Sardinia for a month, and I will tell you that if we didn't have so many cool places that we want to see and explore, we would totally make this a place that we would settle down in. And that's because we are in the Castello District, which is a castle district. We're on top of a hill, and in front of us is this gorgeous cathedral. And there are people coming and going. And there's a coffee shop literally right outside our door. To the right of us is someone who plays either the organ or a accordion. Yeah. And so we get serenaded every single day. I don't know. I just don't think that life can be much better and sweeter than hearing church bells and accordion playing I Did It My Way and Hallelujah and
same 6 songs, but still
but they're beautiful. It's beautiful music also.
Yeah. I don't know. We've been really just kicking ourselves and going, how can we not do this all the time? We should always be in a place like this.
This wouldn't be an ideal area if you had mobility issues, because there's a lot of stairs and narrow streets.
And that's impressive, which we're not doing that.
Oh, we are not.
How do you like our daily climb?
And this is just the first set.
I mean, that's a good set of stairs, but still, there's more to go. And then the hill starts.
And then there's hills.
There's ramps and hills, and then more stairs. If we lived here, we'd be in such good shape.
I also loved the savory breakfast specialty we found in the square. It's called Pizzetta Sfoglia. It actually originated right here in Cagliari. So this is a little bit of an unconventional breakfast, but I was assured that this is what typical Sardinian food. It's a pastry and inside is tomato sauce. And in one of our Italy videos, we had a little pizzetta and along with a cappuccino, and we were told, no, don't do it. But I asked, is this okay to have a cappuccino? And she said, yes, this is traditional Sardinian food, so let's try it. It's lighter than I expected, and I thought it would be heated. It's a little warm, but it's not hot. It's a very thin layer.
Yeah.
It's not stuffed with, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But
too much sauce would make it mushy.
Yeah. It's salty and flaky. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
if you're looking for something a little more on the savory side, it's a good choice.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not looking for sugar. So that's me. Judy's being the good girl this morning.
What can I say? Another Sardinian specialty is pane carousel. And you can see it is so thin.
It's wafer thin.
Wafer thin.
Wow.
It's served under meat to soak up the juices alongside pasta, and it's also great on its own. Ask us how we know. We're waiting for kind of a tuk-tuk called Ape here in Sardinia to get just an hour tour of the city. We thought we would take it because it's going to be great for people who have compromised mobility, but also it's going to allow us to see the whole city pretty quickly and get a good overview.
Yeah, we've been doing only walking and no tours yet, so this will be our first, and we're enjoying the city so far, but it is a lot of hills and a lot of stairs, so it'll be kind of interesting to ride around it for a bit.
We chose this tour because it's a fast way to see the city without all the climbing, though it is pricey for just an hour. You could hop on a bus, but we were glad we didn't miss Alberto's colorful commentary because he's quite a character and we liked hearing his honest take on the city. Plus, our philosophies on life aligned perfectly. As we rattled along, he pointed out the Torre del Elefante with its elephant statue on top and Torre di San Pancrazio. They're two of the medieval towers that once helped defend the city. Both are being renovated, so we were glad to have an excuse not to have to climb any more steps. We also stopped near the Roman amphitheater, or what's left of it. Most of its stones were dismantled centuries ago and then reused to fortify Castello. We think there's something poetic about a place of ancient violence becoming part of the city's defenses. One of the most striking parts of the tour was learning that Cagliari's port is actually closer to Tunisia than it is to northern Sardinia. Hearing this made us want to move up Tunisia on our bucket list just so we could learn more about it. Alberto mentioned that Bastione di St. Remy is a great spot for sunset views, and we could believe it. When we first arrived in Cagliari, the panoramic views from this grand terrace left us in awe.
Wow.
Okay, I could do that right there.
Yeah, this is really nice. Look at all the seating. Oh my God.
We visited in May and it was already toasty, but in slightly cooler weather, I could imagine myself sitting on one of the benches and just spending hours reading a good book. One of the more surprising things about Cagliari is that there's a park right in the middle of the city where flamingos hang out year-round. Flat paths and benches throughout make this easy to navigate for most visitors, though distances can be long.
So we got out of the apartment early today to see some flamingos. We found them. They're over here. We thought we'd get it closer access, but right now we're just on a roadway near the water. I mean, it's a pretty morning, and with enough zoom, we can actually get decent pictures of the flamingos. And of course, the reflection on the water is beautiful. I always love capturing these kind of pictures.
The ponds here used to be old salt flats. Salt was a big deal here, even back in Roman times, and now they're home to thousands of flamingos. Alberto told us it's best to go in the morning before it gets too warm, which we did, but honestly, we were a little underwhelmed. What we saw didn't quite live up to the Instagram shots. You really need a good zoom lens to appreciate them up close. Even if it didn't live up to the hype, it was still cool to see them in the middle of a city, and we like that the area around it is so peaceful. If you come early in June, you might catch them nesting and laying eggs. We didn't come to Sardinia for beach days, but Poetto Beach isn't only about lounging in the sun. It's about a 25-minute walk from the Flamingos, and it's more than just a place to swim. We joined the locals who come here to walk and sip espresso by the water. So I'm not saying that I'm particularly ambitious, but I feel like we should at least dip our toes into the Mediterranean while we're here. Temperature-wise, it's a bit chilly, but I can appreciate that it could be refreshing. One could say refreshing.
Especially later in the day when it gets really hot.
Yeah. Sure. Le Palmette is a great spot for people watching and slowing down. We grabbed a second cappuccino of the morning and a few of these mini pancakes and just relaxed, watching life unfold around us. By the time we got back to the Castello, we were ready for one of our favorite rituals in Italy, aperitivi time.
Don't you hate it when mint leaves block your straw so you can't drink? I do.
Mine is really good. It's a virgin, but it's quite tasty. It is very thirst quenching. When you hear us talk about aperitivi and how joyful it makes us feel, this is what we're talking about. And And technically, we go to places and we don't even get this kind of a spread, and that's okay too.
Right.
But it's a pretty nice spread here today. This is a place that is sometimes a little bit more expensive, but the views are fabulous, especially if you're here for dinner. There's nothing to do except just to be. We enjoyed chatting with each other, and the weather, there's a nice breeze here. It's a sunny day, so you can have sun, but you can also stay cool with a little bit of the breeze.
Yep. We're going to really miss Sardinia. It's been a great place to explore ideas, just be outside, be with people. Our piazza that we are living by is always active in the mornings, and there's just so much here. And I don't know, it's set a bar pretty high. We've been here a month, and it's flown by in some ways. In other ways, I feel like we've been living here for a long time. So,
but it doesn't feel like it's getting old.
No, but it just feels like we've been here long enough that we feel comfortable here. And it's one of the few places where we've been for a month, and my head goes, I could say another.
Yeah.
You know, it's not usually that way. Usually we're itching to go, and I really want to see Prague. I really want to experience it. But I'm also okay being here a little longer, which is rare.
Right. It's days like this that remind us why we embrace the slower way of traveling. We get to take time to feel present rather than rushing through a checklist of things to see and do. And this is why we love Italy so much. If you feel the same way, our gelato membership is where we share more and connect more personally, too. After all that relaxing, we still wanted to learn more about the island's history, and Nora felt like the perfect next stop. It's Sardinia's oldest known city, just outside Cagliari. It was founded by the Phoenicians almost 3,000 years ago. The Carthaginians and Romans added their own layers, including a version of the Roman Forum, and you can still wander past mosaics, thermal baths, temples, and even a seaside theater. Its position along maritime routes made it an important crossroad for trade. So we're here in the Museum of Archaeology, which is one of the most important museums in all of Sardinia. There are artifacts here from as early as prehistoric times, and there's also a part of history that is nowhere else except in Sardinia, the Nuragic era, so we're very eager to explore that. We heard about it briefly when we were in Nora, and we're excited to learn more.
The museum's under a little bit of renovation now, so we have to enter on the first floor. Only floor 0 is more accessible, apparently. That may change in the near future, make it easier.
Yeah.
But when you walk into the first floor, 10th century stuff from underwater, right as you walk in, very cool looking.
Yes. The museum holds plenty of treasures, but what fascinated us most were 2 collections from Sardinia's unique Nuragic civilization. It's a culture that existed nowhere else in the world.
Origins of names?
It says that it's the oldest written document of Sardinia and probably of the entire West. It was dated between 850 and 725 BC. First, there were the bronzes. We were especially interested in the thin, stylized figures of warriors. So I think that this is the perfect companion place after Nora or before to just understand a little bit more of what you're seeing in either place, because some of the things that are missing from Nora are here, but if you went here first, you would obviously see the things that then would have more context when you finally got to Nora.
Right. Our guide actually showed us some of these things in pictures, but seeing them up close and for real is much different. This monument's seen some weather.
3rd century BC, but I say it's something from Ghostbusters. Who's right?
I'm going with the museum, just for kicks. But that's why sandstone's not the best for outdoor monuments, I guess.
Yeah.
Outdoor.
You work with what you've got.
Yeah.
And then there were the giants of Monte Prama. Some of these limestone figures stood nearly 7 feet tall, and they were carved about 3,000 years ago. One, with its large hollow eyes and stylized face, reminded us instantly of C-3PO. No other statues like them have ever been found anywhere else in the world. It felt a little like Christmas to be here and discover these unique artifacts for ourselves. The museum itself is excellent for visitors with mobility concerns. There's an elevator and it's easy to navigate. What do you think? Do these sculptures look like C-3PO to you? Nuraxi may not have Nora's coastline, but it isn't just old. It's a glimpse into a civilization that existed nowhere else but Sardinia.
We rode in a van to get to Nuraxi, and it was a good ride. A lot of information from the guide, lots of details about what we actually should know about Sardinia in general. So I think it's well worth the trip, especially if you have a guide that's telling you all the deets along the way.
If you're a traveler like us who gets a thrill out of discovering history that still holds some mystery, this is one of Sardinia's most fascinating places. It's a Bronze Age fortress built about 3,000 years ago by the Nuragic people, and today it's the island's only UNESCO World Heritage Site. As soon as we arrived and saw the circular stone maze and the towers, we were so glad we decided to visit.
I was worried you'd need a drone to get some of these shots, but no, it's really good just being up on the upper levels of the Nuragic.
It's amazing to know that these towers stood here centuries before Rome was founded. No one really even knows what Nuraxi was used for. Some think it was a fortress, others believe it was a village center or a place of ritual gatherings. It's also a mystery about what happened to the sophisticated prehistoric culture. This is one of the most challenging sites we've visited. Steep steps, tight passages, and uneven ground throughout. That's quite tricky.
Yeah. So what's our mobility rating for that?
I said a 1 or a 0, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. After that climb, I can really feel it in my legs. You got to really work it on some of those old, twisted steps in very tight areas. So, yeah, accessibility rating 0. You got to be good.
We're curious. Would you have picked coastal Nora or mysterious Nuraxi? Before we talk about everything we spent, we should say that Sardinia is full of incredible food. Even though we didn't film every meal, we loved trying Cagliari's specialties. Ravioli-like pasta called colorgiones, fragola with seafood, which are pearl-like pasta made from toasted seminola, and macaronis di busa, pasta shaped around iron rods. Here, they're served with pane carousel. So what did it cost us for 30 days in Cagliari? Travel cost us $123 or $62 per person. Accommodations in the Castello District were $1,575 or $53 per day. Getting around the city cost $58. Dining and groceries were a total of $1,483 or $25 per person per day. Tours cost us a total of $574. That's a grand total of $3,964. Minus the cost of transportation to get here from Malta, we spent $3,841, which breaks down to $128 per day and $64 per person per day. We've had a blast bringing you with us to Sardinia, but our bags are packed and we're headed to Prague. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to do that. And remember, wander more,
Worry less.
and bring a passport.
Until next time.
Till next time.